Okay, I am so excited. Thank you, Meredith. Oh my gosh, and I love Freddie Mercury over there just like wagging his tail, having a little nap. You're doing the pointing.
Potato.
Okay, good job. You've done that before.
Poking his whole butt.
I know. Well, I'm so excited. For those of you listening and watching, I am thrilled to have Meredith Newell. And I have no idea what you're going to say, but you sent me a text yesterday saying that um, through journaling, something's unlocked for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, do you want to share that? And you're like, yeah, let's go. So here we are because I love hearing people's experiences. I mean, I forget um, like the ahas that are happening well after like learning how to journal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, and I think I would start by saying when we met, I was very resistant to journaling. And I'm like that about a lot of things that are good for me. I think a lot of people are.
me too. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I hated journaling.
Yeah. It's
I was
like,
like, I'm not
I'm
going to
not gonna do that.
journal.
Ugh. But
Forgot that you did that too.
I totally did. But I really, I paid money for the course. I was going to do it, and I think that that
Mhm.
was a really important step for me. It wasn't just like
Mhm.
something I committed to myself. I had to like do this other thing, like give some resources away. And in starting, like when I first started journaling, it felt very kind of forced. I didn't really know what to say. I loved to write in school and I loved to write like when I was given a prompt and someone was going to grade it and it was like for a carrot. But just writing for myself, it took
Ooh,
a
I
while.
love that. When it was for a carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
what I realized is that I have been getting carrots. And I think really, so the first thing I noticed when I started journaling was that most of us, what we write day to day are texts and tweets and things like that. So our thoughts are tweet length, but I like to think book.
Mm.
And so as I started journaling, I noticed like my thoughts are getting longer and like more detailed and more
Yeah.
interesting. And I'm getting more of a tapestry instead of just you know, a one liner.
Right.
And I feel like our culture is so like fueled that way that conversations happen in these short spurts. So we don't kind of get to the heart of the matter, and we don't ever really give ourselves the time to really ask questions or create
Mhm.
understanding. And
Yeah.
so overall, journaling, that's what's come alive for me in journaling in the last year. And for me,
Yeah.
it happened pretty quickly. I mean, a year.
Yeah.
And then what happened on my birthday last Tuesday was I was doing my morning pages and I have it kind of be a ritual. I just light a candle, I light a stick of incense, I'm alone, I have a chair that I'm comfortable in. And I do it the same way every day so that I don't
Mhm.
have kind of outside factors or like things
Mhm.
that I'm noticing outside of what I'm writing.
Mhm.
So that's something that I got again from you, Anna, in your
Mhm.
course. And I think that that was a really important little piece,
Mhm.
that the ritual just kind of like
Yeah.
it really adds a lot to the experience. But as I was journaling, I was thinking back, because I find birthdays to be a great time for
Yes.
reflection. And I also find that birthdays are kind of like mini memorial services. You get like
Yeah.
all of these amazing notes from your friends where they like tell you what you mean to them and the impressions that you've left on their lives. And it's kind of, personally, I mean, I live for that. I think that that's so fulfilling and such a lift up. And so I was thinking back to a year ago when I started journaling, and at the same time started a relationship with you, and some other really important people in my life now.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when I was writing about kind of what I wanted my life's purpose to be, it was not so much about what I was doing as much as it was about what kind of an impression I was leaving on the world and the people that I love and care about.
Mhm.
And so in the last few months, I've kind of been putting again this pressure on myself. Like, what are you doing? You're not utilizing your art. You're not doing enough. Like, you need to figure out
Mhm.
what to do. And as I was journaling on my birthday morning, I started out by saying, like, here was what I set out and asked for. And the universe just reminded me through birthday messages, everyone wrote the same thing. And it was about the positivity that I am in their life and how there's an afterglow. And I went back and looked in my journal and I literally used the word afterglow And it was in maybe 3 of my birthday messages this month.
Mhm.
And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm living my life's purpose without doing anything. And I was so overwhelmed with just gratitude and joy for like that realization. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to do stuff, but it just means that I'm okay, like no matter what,
Mhm.
and that I'm already filled with the purpose that I asked for. So
Mhm.
um I was like, then I saw that you were doing a journaling group, and I was like, oh, I've got to tell people what this meant for me, because
Yeah.
it didn't cost me anything. It took, 30 to 45 minutes of my day that,
Mhm.
you know, I was that we should give ourselves so much more, but like that's a pretty small ask.
Mhm.
Um, and I started out a skeptic, and in the end, I was still rewarded with all of the beauty and
Even with your skepticism, you did, it worked out anyway. Me too. Me too.
yeah. So,
I love,
anyways, thank you. And yeah, I
yeah.
just wanted to share that.
Well, I love this, the specific thing that you just said is I'm okay no matter what.
Yeah.
And if we can just remember that, like, we're okay no matter what, right? No matter what you've done, no matter what you haven't done, like, it's not like there's no earning of love,
Right.
right? That you can
There
just, what'd you say?
shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what is so powerful about journaling. And I'm like, why wouldn't everybody want to do this?
For the
But
same reason we didn't want to. But
well,
it's just because you don't know, you just don't
don't
know.
know. And thank you for sharing that, because like to hear what it's like on the other side,
Mm.
right? I've been doing it for so long that I forget, because it's become like breathing to me. But that's 15 years,
Yeah.
I remember weeping over, and still, but weeping over journal entries where I'm like, oh, I have everything like that I ever said I wanted. But by the time we get to the place that we wanted to get to, we're onto something else.
Yeah.
So you never take the moment to pause and acknowledge and reflect back. And I love that you did that. And yes, on a birthday, but like it can be done every day with journaling. I've been doing it a lot myself because I'm really hard on myself, as we both know. And I know you are as well. And just I think as women and in general people, but like specifically women, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
And so if we take that time to just look back at, like, even sometimes I'll just look back at, hey, so don't you remember when you said you wanted to get up at 5 a.m. and start journaling? You're doing that right now. Way to go. Like that you
Celebrate
start
that
your
win.
day with that acknowledgement changes the whole day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I've just been light. I've just been like walking on air since that entry. And
Mhm.
even my acupuncturist today, she was like, you seem so light today. And I was like, well,
Mhm.
had a really big realization. It just poofed all of this unnecessary weight I put on myself right off my shoulders. And I couldn't
Yeah.
do that without that conduit, without that conversation with myself that I wouldn't have otherwise had.
Yeah. And it really is like, that's what I love about it is once you see it on paper,
Mhm.
it can shift like that. It just doesn't need to take this really long amount of time.
Right.
Sometimes it will anyway, like if we're really resistant, but that you are willing to reflect back and look and see that like everything you said you wanted is right here. And you get to celebrate yourself just like everybody else is doing. Right.
It was awesome.
Mhm. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. And
Pleasure.
this is perfect timing because I should mention, I am taking 8 more people into my new journaling class. I don't know if I even told you this that I'm doing. It's called Journaling to Love Your Life, and it's going to start in January. But I'm taking 10 people, and I'm going to offer it to them for a crazy price of $99.
What?
I know, especially because like my other classes are thousands of
Well,
dollars.
and they're all
Um,
worth it. They're all worth it.
yeah, it's
$90
just
is
different.
awesome. That's really cool. And
Yeah.
giving themselves such a big and kind of intangible gift in
Yeah.
doing just signing up, that
Yeah.
it's like it's a
I know.
no-brainer. It's a
Well, and
no-brainer.
then what's so great
Bring
is
me
that
someone, I will sponsor them. I
I'm
want
gonna
them in the
use
class.
well, and I'm gonna and the 10 people that sign up over the next month, I'm gonna be asking them questions to make sure that I get the course exactly the way people want it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I do weekly journal prompts? Do I do a daily journal prompt? Do you get an email? Do you get a text message? So like all of the minutia of creating a course, I'm going to take those 10 people as like my focus group,
Cool.
you know, so hence the discounted price because they're going to talk to me a little bit more. But I'm really excited because I think that that'll make it even more accessible. And it's in 4 weeks rather than 12
That's
weeks.
when are you going to launch that? When are you doing that?
January 1st.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're going to have people, more than 10 people trying to get into that.
We'll see. I'm going to give it a few more days. So we'll close it on Sunday night, but you know, that's what we're going to do right now. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
So thank you so much for sharing that. And I actually thought that when we got on this call, I was like, oh, you look amazing. You look like vibrant light. Like, I mean, it's even like over in the corner of the way the light is showing up next to Freddie over by his nose. Like, yeah, it's just,
It's good around here right now.
yeah.
Real nice.
Well, thank you so much, Meredith. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Love you.
I love you too. Okay, you can find out all the other stuff on my website, annakmorris.com. Can I hit stop record?